Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So who is ready for another marble resin technique pour? Here we are mixing up our one-to-one resin. So I am using Tea Expert brand and I have already mixed up my 200 milliliters of part A and 200 milliliters of part B, or resin and hardener, so equal parts. I am now going to let this resin sit so it can get up to the proper temperature. You will need an infrared thermometer to measure the temperature of your resin to make sure you have the accurate temperature. So right now we are reading a 68 degrees, which is quite low. And so we are going to be waiting for a little while. Let's just give you a few tips to clean off your tools, your mixing tools. I have mixed up my resin and then I have added some alcohol. I've sprayed it and now I've been able to wipe down my tool so it's all clean for the next session. Okay, so we have 4 different cups and we are going to pour equal amounts into each cup. So the resin has been sitting for about 15 minutes and we are going to take our time and pour them into each cup. Another thing I like to do before I add them to the individual cups is do a quick spray of my heat gun into the large cup to get rid of any surface bubbles. So now we have our third cup filled with resin and we are going to do a fourth as well. So hopefully if you have any questions, please drop them below in the comments so that I can answer them for you along the way. But here we are mixing our fourth cup. All right, we're gonna get mixing up our first set of colors. So first up, we have the alcohol ink in blue, and this is the Brave Reese brand alcohol ink. So this one is sky blue color. We're just gonna add a couple drops, maybe 8. And then we're gonna mix this up and we're gonna let it sit until it gets to the right temperature. So after I mix up all my colors, I do add my heat gun and just blast it for a little bit just to get any surface bubbles off. Here is the purple mica that I am mixing together. It's such a pretty color. So we're going to slowly mix it up so that the mica doesn't go flying everywhere. And then we will let these sit like the rest of them. So we have purple, black, blue, and white, and that will be our combination of colors for this piece. Okay, now that we have the purple mica all mixed up, I thought I would just show you a little close-up. This is such a stunning purple. I love the shade of this purple. And now we're going to be mixing up the Tea Expert white pigment paste. So I am only adding 1 drop to this full cup. A little bit goes a long way. We don't want too much white because we don't want the white to take over. So 1 little drop, I'm going to mix it up and then we're just going to let our resin sit again until it gets to the right temperature. All right, so we're going to mix up the white, like I said, and now we're going to let our resin sit and check the temperature. So all our resin, we have 82, 80, 83, and we have another 83. So this resin is not ready to use yet, so we still have to wait. I probably waited another 15 minutes for the resin to get up to 91 degrees. So I like to work within that range, 91 to 94. I find that that is the perfect range to work my marble resin technique. So the next step that you need to take is you need to have a clear resin container or a silicone cup. You can use the one that you already mixed your one-to-one resin in. And you are going to slowly pour in your resin mixtures in any order you want. I do like to mix a clear with a opaque and then add a mica powder one and then another paste one and then clear again. But that is completely up to you. I do pour in a few different ways because there were a lot of people asking on my Facebook post to please show the video of me pouring the colors into the cup. And so this is one way where you pour directly into the center. And so then the different densities of the paste versus mica versus clear will sink or rise up depending on what you're working with. The other option is to pour along the side of the cup, but it's really up to you, and you'll have to experiment to see which way you like the best. All right, so we're going to continue to add our colors until all of our resin is empty from our individual containers. All right, everybody, now on to the finale of creating a marble resin piece. My favorite part, and it will probably become yours as well, it's pouring the mixed resin that you have poured into your single cup into your mold of choice. These pieces always pour into the mold just so stunningly, and it's always a surprise how it's going to turn out when you demold, but I'm just loving watching it pour into the mold. It's my favorite part. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I will also leave my Facebook group and information below. And after 24 hours, we're going to demold this and check out how this piece came out. It's stunning. I love it. It's unique. It's different. No two pours will ever be the same. Thanks for watching.